This audiobook is a doorway into the unseen, a frequency of money that hums beneath all things, waiting for you to tune yourself into its rhythm. Before we begin, I want to thank you for being here in this sacred moment. What you are about to hear is not just words, but a transmission, a current of frequency that can shift the way you experience wealth and life itself. If this message resonates with you, I gently invite you to like this video, leave a thoughtful comment sharing your journey, and subscribe for more sacred teachings. Introduction. Imagine a hidden river flowing not through valleys or mountains, but through the unseen corridors of existence. Its waters are not of earth or sky, but of vibration, shimmering currents of energy that move with perfect harmony. This river is money as frequency. Not paper, not coins, not numbers on a glowing screen, but a pulse of life itself, circulating endlessly, waiting for you to align with its rhythm. You have been taught to see money as matter, as something separate from you, something you must chase, earn, or fear. But what if the truth is far more intimate, far more sacred? What if money is not outside of you at all, but a reflection of the frequency you carry inside your being? The ancients whispered this truth in symbols and stories. They told of golden threads woven into the fabric of creation, threads that vibrate with abundance and light. They taught that the one who tunes their inner instrument to the frequency of wealth will never lack, for the world itself must bend to mirror that song. Like a harp resonating to the note struck across the room, reality cannot help but respond when you embody the vibration of prosperity. Think of the stars. They are not silent. Each burns with a unique resonance, a cosmic chord held in the infinite symphony of the universe, and you, too, are an instrument. Your thoughts are strings, your emotions are notes, your beliefs are harmonics. When you strike the chords of gratitude, certainty, and joy, you begin to hum at the frequency of abundance. When you play the tones of fear, doubt, or lack, you tune yourself into poverty, even if gold lies at your feet. Money, then, is not a thing to be gathered, but a mirror that reflects your frequency. It comes to you not because of effort alone, but because of alignment. Just as radio waves carry countless stations through the air, and yet you hear only the one you are tuned to, so too does the frequency of wealth surround you. It waits, patient and eternal, for you to dial yourself into its channel. In this audiobook, you will be guided into that tuning. You will learn to hear the subtle music of money, to align your mind and heart with its rhythm, to step into the current where prosperity flows without end. Each chapter is a key, unlocking not just knowledge, but resonance, shifting you from a seeker of wealth to a living embodiment of it. So breathe deeply. Feel the air move into your lungs. Feel your heart pulse within your chest. Know that even now, the frequency of abundance surrounds you. And know that as you continue on this journey, something inside you will begin to hum, to glow, to sing. Money is frequency, and once you tune yourself, it cannot help but come. Chapter 1. The Hidden Current. There is a river beneath all rivers, unseen yet eternal. You cannot see its waters with your eyes, nor touch its banks with your hands, yet you feel its presence in every moment of your life. This river is money as frequency, a current that flows not in the world of things, but in the invisible dimension of vibration. You have always been swimming in it. Even in the moments when you felt poor, even in the hours when you struggled, the current was there. But like a traveler who walks beside a river while blindfolded, you could not see the water shimmering beside you. Money is not a creation of governments, nor the invention of markets, nor the gift of employers. Long before coins were struck and paper was printed, long before digital screens glowed with shifting numbers, the essence of money already existed. It was present in the exchange of energy, in the giving and receiving of gifts, in the rhythm of planting and harvest, in the sacred dance of balance. The truth is simple yet veiled. Money is an expression of energy. Energy takes form according to the vessel that receives it. In one vessel it appears as gold, in another as grain, in another as opportunity, in another as pure inspiration. But the essence is the same. The frequency is constant. What changes is only the form. And here lies the hidden key. The universe does not respond to your effort alone, but to your frequency. The outer world is only a mirror, faithfully reflecting the music that hums inside your being. Imagine a story. A man once lived in a small village by the sea. He worked day and night to gather fish, yet his nets were always empty. He grew bitter, convinced that fortune had turned her face from him. Every morning he walked to the shore with anger. Every evening he returned with despair. The sea heard his vibration and mirrored it. His nets reflected his state of being, lack. But in the same village lived another man. He too cast his nets into the same sea, under the same sky. Yet his nets returned full, shimmering with silver fish. The villagers wondered, what is his secret? Does he know hidden waters? Does he have the blessing of gods? One night, a boy asked him, "Why do you always sing when you fish?" The man smiled, "Because the sea is alive, and it listens. If I sing the song of gratitude, the sea gives back to me. If I complain, the sea closes its hands." The boy did not understand then, but in time he learned. It was not the nets that made the difference, it was the frequency. This is your life. The world is the sea, money is the fish. And your vibration, your song, your frequency, is the unseen net that determines what you bring back. You must understand, the universe is always precise. It gives to you not what you want, but what you are. If you vibrate with fear, you magnetize scarcity. If you vibrate with joy, you magnetize abundance. You cannot fake frequency. You cannot chant affirmations while still vibrating in lack. The universe listens not to your words, but to your inner hum. Money is drawn to clarity, certainty, and flow. It resists fear, tension, and desperation. When you relax into the truth that you already carry the frequency of abundance within you, the current begins to flow in your favor. So here is your first sacred practice. Tonight, when you close your eyes, do not think of money as paper or numbers. Imagine instead a shimmering current of golden light flowing endlessly around you. See it pouring through the air like invisible streams, vibrating like music you cannot hear yet deeply feel. Whisper to yourself, "I am already in the current. I am already in the frequency. Money flows to me because I am in harmony with it." As you do this, breathe slowly, deeply. With each inhale, imagine the current of golden light flowing into your chest, filling your heart with warmth. With each exhale, release fear, doubt, or tension. Let them dissolve like mist in the morning sun. Continue until you feel yourself softened, expanded, luminous. For the truth is this: abundance is not something you achieve. It is something you remember. It has always been around you. It has always been within you. You are not separated from wealth by walls of circumstance, but only by veils of vibration. When you lift the veil, the river reveals itself. And so, Let this be the beginning of your journey, to see money not as a prize to be chased, but as a frequency to be attuned. The more you embody joy, gratitude, and certainty, the more the world bends to reflect that inner song. The river is waiting, the frequency is humming. The question is not whether abundance exists, but whether you will choose to tune yourself to it. Chapter 2. The Instrument Within. Every sound in the universe is born from vibration. The stars hum with frequencies beyond human hearing. The trees sing their silent songs through the rhythm of leaves swaying in the wind. Even your own body is a symphony. The pulse of your heart, the current of your breath, the electric spark of your thoughts. And just as a harp resonates when a single string is plucked, so does the universe resonate with the song you hold within. Money, too, vibrates to this law. It does not obey force, but frequency. Most people are taught that money is earned by struggle, by endless labor, by clawing your way forward. But struggle without frequency is like striking a harp with no strings. There is sound, but no music. Effort alone cannot carry you into abundance. Only alignment can. The key lies in understanding that you are the instrument. Your mind is the frame, your beliefs are the strings, and your emotions are the notes you play. What you vibrate inwardly is amplified outwardly. The world cannot help but mirror your song. Consider this story. There was once a woman gifted with a small wooden flute carved by her grandfather. She kept it in a box, hidden away, believing it to be worthless. Her days were filled with toil. She worked long hours in the market, her hands blistered, her spirit weary. She longed for change, yet every coin she earned seemed to vanish like water through her fingers. One evening, as she sat by the fire, exhausted and hopeless, she opened the box. On a whim, she lifted the flute and blew into it. To her astonishment, a note so pure, so golden, filled the air that it seemed the walls themselves glowed. Neighbors gathered outside, drawn by the sound. Day after day she played, and the people returned, offering gifts of food, of money, of friendship. Her life changed not because she found treasure in the marketplace, but because she awakened the frequency within her. You too carry such an instrument. It is your inner state, your unseen vibration. If you bury it beneath fear, it stays silent. If you play the strings of certainty, joy, and gratitude, the world cannot resist echoing back abundance. This is why the wealthy often grow wealthier, not because they are lucky, but because they vibrate in certainty. They believe without question that money belongs with them, and so reality responds to that belief. Meanwhile, those who fear loss magnetize loss. Those who doubt abundance shut their own instrument. Money is not moral or immoral. It does not choose favorites. It responds to resonance. It is impartial as the law of gravity, always reflecting the state you carry within. So how do you retune your inner instrument? First, by awareness. Begin listening to your inner frequency. What thoughts repeat most often in your mind? What emotions color your days? Are you vibrating with trust or with doubt? With gratitude or with complaint? With flow or with resistance? Second, by tuning. Just as a musician plucks each string until it vibrates in harmony, so must you tune your inner state. Gratitude is the master key. When you look at what little you may have and bless it, you amplify its frequency. Gratitude does not wait for wealth. It creates wealth. Third, by consistency. You do not play one note on a harp and expect a symphony. You must play again and again until the resonance fills the space. In the same way, you must practice the frequency of abundance daily until it becomes the song of your being. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Find a quiet moment. Close your eyes. Place your hand upon your heart. With each breath, imagine your chest as a great instrument, strings of golden light stretching across it. Now, in your mind, pluck one string, the string of gratitude. Whisper softly, "Thank you." Feel the note reverberate within you. Then pluck another, the string of certainty. Whisper, "I am provided for." Then another, the string of joy. Whisper, "I am in the current." Do this for several minutes until you feel your entire body hum like a harp glowing in light. Then open your eyes and step back into the world carrying that song. Notice how the current around you begins to shift. People respond differently. Opportunities arise. Money flows more easily, not because you chased it harder, but because you tuned your instrument. The universe is not deaf. It is not indifferent. It listens always. The only question is, what frequency are you playing? Chapter 3. The Mirror of Wealth. Every moment of your life is lived before a great mirror. It has no glass, no frame, and yet it reflects you perfectly. That mirror is reality itself. And just as no reflection can appear without first existing in the body it reflects, no wealth can appear outside of you without first being formed within. Money does not come because you chase it. It does not come because you plead for it. It comes because you embody the vibration that commands it to appear. Reality is an echo, repeating the song you sing inwardly. Think of the sun. It does not beg the earth to blossom. It shines, and the earth responds. Flowers turn their faces toward it. Rivers sparkle. Fields of wheat bend in golden rhythm. The sun does not strive to attract. It simply radiates. So too with you. Money responds not to your chase, but to your radiance. But here is the paradox. Most people look at the mirror and curse it. They see their lack reflected back at them and cry, "Why does life withhold from me?" They do not realize the mirror only shows what they are projecting. If they radiate fear, the mirror shows scarcity. If they radiate doubt, the mirror shows closed doors. But if they radiate certainty, the mirror shows overflowing abundance. A story may bring this to life. There was once a man who lived in a small town. He was poor, though he worked harder than anyone else. Every day he walked past a merchant shop and saw the shelves filled with fine goods, silks, spices, gold coins glittering in bowls. And every day he thought, "That world is not for me. I am destined for struggle." One evening, the merchant invited him in. "Tell me," the merchant asked, "why do you never enter my shop? You walk by every day." The man lowered his head. "Because I cannot afford what you sell. I would be a fool to step inside." The merchant smiled gently. "Do you not see? It is not my door that is closed, it is yours. My shop is open to anyone, but your heart has locked itself out. You do not live in poverty because life has denied you. You live in poverty because you deny yourself." The man left shaken but awakened. He realized his belief had been the mirror, and the mirror was flawless in its reflection. So it is with you. If you believe wealth is scarce, the mirror shows scarcity. If you believe wealth is abundant, the mirror reveals abundance. Life cannot resist showing you yourself. The key, then, is not to fight the reflection, but to change the vibration you project. When you shift your inner frequency, the mirror must change. It has no choice. This is why Neville Goddard taught that assumption is the seed of reality. To assume wealth is to plant the vibration that must bloom outwardly. To assume poverty is to water the seed of lack. Reality cannot resist the assumption. It mirrors it faithfully, without error. But how do you begin to radiate abundance when the mirror currently shows you lack? This is the great question, the sacred work. The answer is, you must reverse the order. Stop looking at the mirror to decide what to feel. Begin to feel what you desire, and let the mirror catch up. Do not wait for money to appear to feel wealthy. Feel wealthy now, and money must appear. This is not imagination alone. This is law. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Stand before a physical mirror. Look into your own eyes. Do not look at your clothes, your room, your circumstances. Look into the spark of light within your eyes, that unshakable part of you that no poverty can touch. Now, softly, begin to declare, I am the frequency of abundance. I radiate wealth as light radiates from the sun. The mirror of reality reflects my inner certainty. Speak these words not as a hope, but as a knowing. Say them until you feel a shift, however subtle. Perhaps your chest feels lighter. Perhaps a warmth rises in your stomach. Perhaps your posture straightens. That is the vibration beginning to tune itself. That is the harp string resonating with the frequency of wealth. Do this daily. And then notice how reality begins to bend. A small gift comes unexpectedly. An opportunity opens. A conversation leads to prosperity. The mirror begins to shimmer because you are shimmering within. The world has never withheld from you. The river of frequency has never stopped flowing. The only question has always been, what do you radiate into the mirror? Remember this, money is not chasing you, and you are not chasing it. You and money are both notes in the same eternal symphony. When you tune yourself to its frequency, the mirror of reality cannot help but reflect it. Chapter 4. The Language of Frequency. The universe does not hear your words, it hears your frequency. Words are symbols, fragile and fleeting, but frequency is eternal. It is the silent language beneath every prayer, every thought, every desire. You may say, I want wealth, but if your frequency hums with fear, lack, or doubt, the universe responds not to your words, but to your vibration. This is why two people can speak the same affirmation, yet receive very different results. One whispers, I am abundant, but inside they tremble with disbelief. Their frequency is discordant, and so abundance does not appear. Another whispers the same words with certainty, with unshakable conviction, and the universe bends to reflect their state. The words themselves are not the magic, the frequency beneath them is. Think of a radio tower. It does not matter what message is sent, love, song, or news. If the frequency is not tuned correctly, no one receives the signal. Words are the message, but frequency is the broadcast. Without the broadcast, the message is lost in silence. This is why the masters of old spoke of faith, belief, and inner knowing. Faith is not mere hope, it is frequency embodied. When you know, not wish, not hope, not beg, but know that abundance belongs to you, the universe cannot resist. Reality is compelled to mirror that knowing because reality itself is frequency given form. Let us bring this truth to life with a story. In a faraway land, there was a stone temple where seekers came to pray for wealth. Many would enter, kneel before the great altar, and cry out, "Grant me riches, grant me fortune." Yet most left empty-handed, their lives unchanged. But one day, a traveler entered the temple silently. He did not kneel, nor did he beg. He simply closed his eyes and breathed deeply. A faint smile touched his lips as if he were already holding treasures unseen. Hours passed, and he remained unmoved, eyes closed, breathing in silence. Finally, the keeper of the temple approached him. "Why do you not pray like the others?" he asked. The traveler opened his eyes slowly. "Because my prayer is not in words. My prayer is in frequency. I carry the vibration of wealth within me. The temple does not need to grant me anything, for the law is already fulfilled." In time, the traveler left the temple, and prosperity followed him wherever he went. Not because the temple gave him gold, but because he became the frequency of abundance. This is the language of creation, not words, but resonance, not begging, but becoming. When you speak to the universe, the true voice it hears is the vibration beneath your speech. You can mask your words, but you cannot mask your frequency. So, what is the language you are speaking now? Every sigh of worry, every knot of fear, every spark of gratitude, every wave of joy, all of it is broadcast into the infinite. The universe listens faithfully, and it echoes back exactly what you send. This is why gratitude is so powerful. Gratitude is the language of abundance. When you give thanks for even the smallest coin, the universe reads your frequency as wealth. It answers, "This one is tuned to receiving. Let more be given." On the other hand, complaint is the language of lack. When you speak only of what you do not have, when you vibrate with bitterness, the universe answers, "This one is tuned to scarcity. Let scarcity be mirrored." The law is impartial. It does not judge, it only reflects. This truth can be frightening, but it is also liberating, for it means you are never trapped. You can change your language at any moment, and when your language changes, your world must follow. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Sit in stillness. Place your hand over your heart and close your eyes. Without speaking aloud, begin to feel gratitude for something you already possess. It may be as simple as the breath filling your lungs, the sunlight touching your face, the roof over your head. Let the feeling of gratitude expand until it vibrates in your chest. Now, without words, let yourself feel as though you already possess the wealth you seek. Imagine the emotion of security, freedom, joy. Imagine what it feels like to walk through life without worry, to move with lightness, to give generously. Feel it in your body as if it were real in this very moment. Stay with this frequency for several minutes, then whisper softly, "This is my true language. This is my true voice. This is the song I broadcast." Do this daily, and you will begin to notice how the universe replies. It may be subtle at first, a chance meeting, a small gift, an unexpected opportunity. But soon, as your frequency strengthens, the mirror of reality will shift unmistakably. Never forget, money is frequency. Speak the language of abundance, and abundance must respond. Chapter 5. The Field of Resonance. There exists a field around you, though you cannot see it with your eyes. It extends beyond your skin, beyond your reach, and yet it is closer to you than breath. This field is your resonance, the invisible atmosphere of energy that surrounds your being. Everything you desire, everything you fear, everything you embody vibrates into this field. And the universe, ever faithful, responds to it. Wealth is not drawn to you by accident. It does not stumble into your life randomly. It is magnetized to your field. Your resonance is the invitation. and like a tuning fork struck in one room causing another fork across the hall to vibrate, money vibrates toward those who already embody its frequency. This is why some people seem to carry a mysterious glow, a quiet magnetism that draws opportunities, connections, and wealth without strain. They may not always be the smartest, the strongest, or the most educated, but their field hums with certainty. They radiate the resonance of prosperity, and the world cannot resist echoing back abundance. Others, though hardworking, radiate a different field, a field of worry, lack, or fear. Their resonance pushes money away even as they chase it tirelessly. For the law is precise. You cannot attract what your field does not match. To understand this, imagine walking through a marketplace filled with music. One stall plays soft flutes, another drums, another strings. If your body is attuned to joy, you will be pulled toward the lively drums. If you are attuned to peace, you will drift toward the flutes. You do not choose consciously. You are drawn by resonance. So too does money move. It is drawn not by effort, but by match. When your field resonates with abundance, money recognizes itself in you and flows naturally. When your field vibrates with lack, money cannot find its reflection and drifts elsewhere. A parable may make this clearer. Long ago, in a desert kingdom, there lived two brothers. Both desired wealth, yet their lives unfolded differently. The first brother rose each morning with dread. What if today brings failure? What if fortune never arrives? His thoughts poisoned his field, and though he worked ceaselessly, his harvests always failed. The second brother, though no less poor, rose each morning with gratitude. He whispered, "I am wealthy, for I have breath. I am rich, for the sun has risen. Fortune is already within me." His field grew radiant with joy. Soon, travelers noticed him. Opportunities sought him. Wealth poured into his life like rain into the desert. When asked the secret, he replied, "I did not wait for wealth to come. I became wealth. My field was already prosperous, so the world could not help but join it." This is the law of resonance. And here is the liberation. You can change your field. You are not chained to lack nor bound to fear. With awareness and practice, you can tune your resonance to abundance. First, begin to feel the energy you radiate. When you enter a room, what follows you? Do you bring heaviness or do you bring lightness? Do you carry tension or do you carry openness? Others feel your field before you speak, and so does money. Second, cultivate the resonance you wish to embody. Gratitude expands the field. Joy elevates it. Certainty stabilizes it. You need not possess millions to radiate the field of a wealthy soul. You need only embody the state of already being provided for. The field does not ask for proof. It asks for resonance. Third, sustain it. Resonance deepens with repetition. Just as a string vibrates longer the more it is struck, your field grows stronger the more you choose abundance over lack, joy over despair, trust over fear. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Find a quiet place, stand or sit comfortably. Close your eyes and imagine yourself surrounded by a radiant golden field of light. It expands outward, filling the room, humming with gentle power. See it shimmer with the frequency of abundance, like sunlight reflected on water. Now, begin to breathe deeply. With each inhale, draw in the sense of infinite provision. With each exhale, release doubt and fear. Whisper softly, "My field is abundant. My resonance is wealth. Money recognizes itself in me. Stay with this practice until you feel lighter, until a subtle glow seems to radiate from your body. Carry this resonance into your day. Notice how people respond. Notice how opportunities emerge. Notice how money begins to move toward you, not by force, but by match. The field never lies. It is always broadcasting. The only question is, what frequency are you sending into it? Remember, you do not chase the river of abundance. You become the river. You flow, and wealth flows with you. Chapter 6. The Pulse of Receiving. There is a heartbeat in the universe. You cannot hear it with your ears, but you feel it in the rhythm of life itself. It is the pulse of giving and receiving, an eternal exchange, a circulation without end. Money, too, follows this pulse. It is not meant to be hoarded or feared, but to flow, to move like breath, in and out, in perfect balance. When you resist receiving, you choke the current. When you cling tightly in fear of loss, you block the pulse. But when you open your hands, when you allow, when you trust the rhythm, the river of money moves toward you. Most people are comfortable giving, but not receiving. They will offer time, effort, even love. Yet, when abundance comes to them, they hesitate. I don't deserve it, they think. It's too much. What will others say? And so the frequency of wealth retreats, for it will not linger where it is not welcomed. Receiving is not greed. Receiving is alignment. To breathe in is not selfish, for without it, you cannot breathe out. To receive, wealth is not selfish, for without it, you cannot give more richly. The pulse requires both. Let us see this truth through a story. In a mountain village, there was a well that supplied water to the people. Every day, villagers drew water and carried it home. But one family refused to draw much, fearing they would deplete the well. They rationed every drop, living in constant thirst. Another family drew water freely, drinking deeply, cooking abundantly, sharing with neighbors, and still the well never emptied. In fact, it seemed to grow fuller the more it was used. One day, an elder explained, "The well is fed by underground springs. It cannot run dry from use. It runs dry only when it is neglected. When you draw from it, you keep the pulse alive." So it is with money. It is not a finite pile to be guarded with fear. It is a living current, fed by unseen springs, flowing stronger when you participate in it. This is why those who give joyfully often find themselves wealthier, not because they lose nothing in the giving, but because their openness to the flow strengthens their resonance of abundance. They breathe in and breathe out in harmony. But it begins with receiving. You cannot give from emptiness. You cannot overflow if you have not first allowed yourself to be filled. Look into your own life. How many times have you refused a gift, a compliment, an opportunity simply because you felt unworthy? How many times has abundance knocked, only for you to turn it away with, "I can't accept this"? The universe hears such refusals as frequency. It reads them as, "I am not ready for wealth. I am not open to abundance." And so it mirrors your vibration, withholding not by punishment, but by law. To receive is to affirm, "I am worthy. I am open. I am aligned with the flow of abundance." Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. The next time someone offers you something, whether it be a gift, a compliment, or an opportunity, pause. Instead of deflecting, instead of shrinking, simply breathe and say, "Thank you." Let the words carry weight. Let them affirm your openness to receive. Then, in solitude, close your eyes and visualize yourself standing under a golden waterfall of abundance. Feel the current pouring over you, flowing into you, filling every corner of your being. Do not resist, do not ration. Let yourself be drenched in the infinite. Whisper softly, I am open to receive. I welcome abundance into my life. The pulse flows through me. Practice this daily, and you will notice the difference. Opportunities will arise, doors will open, gifts will appear. And most importantly, you will begin to feel the rhythm of circulation. Money moving in, money moving out, all part of the same eternal breath. For the truth is this: wealth is not a chase nor a conquest. It is a pulse. When you learn to breathe with it, to receive fully, to give joyfully, you align yourself with the eternal law of abundance. Chapter 7. The Law of Circulation. Everything alive circulates. The blood in your veins moves without pause. The tides of the ocean rise and fall. The breath in your lungs flows in and out. The universe itself is not still, but forever in motion. Galaxies expanding, stars being born, rivers pouring into the sea. Money, too, obeys this sacred law of circulation. It was never meant to stagnate. It was never meant to sit locked away, clutched in fear. Money is alive when it moves. It gains strength when it flows. It blesses you as it passes through your hands, but it withers if you hoard it in despair. To block circulation is to block life itself. This is why some people grow wealthier the more they give, while others grow poorer the more they cling. For money, like water, becomes stagnant when trapped. But when it flows in gratitude and trust, it multiplies. Imagine a farmer. If he stores all his seed in a barn, fearful of losing it, what happens? The seed rots. It cannot grow. But if he scatters it across the field, though some may be lost, much more will return to him multiplied in the harvest. So it is with money. To circulate is to plant. To hoard in fear is to rot. A story brings this to life. In an ancient city, two merchants kept shops side by side. The first was miserly. He clutched every coin, fearing loss. He never invested, never gave, never circulated. His shop grew dim, customers dwindled, and soon he complained that fortune had cursed him. The second merchant was different. He paid his workers generously, he improved his shop, he gave freely to the poor, and he reinvested in new goods. His coins moved like rivers, flowing out and flowing in, and the more he circulated, the more his wealth grew. Travelers sought his shop, blessings multiplied, and prosperity surrounded him. When asked the secret of his success, he said, I do not trap money, I let it breathe. I trust the law of circulation. I give, and it returns multiplied. So it is with your life. Money is not something to clutch with white knuckles. It is a current, and you are a steward of its flow. The more you allow it to move through you with gratitude, the more abundance will seek you. But circulation is not careless spending. It is conscious flow. Just as the farmer chooses fertile soil for his seed, you must choose fertile ground for your money. Give where it multiplies, where it blesses, where it uplifts. Invest in what grows, not what decays. Share where your spirit is moved, not where fear demands. The vibration behind the circulation matters most. If you give in fear of loss, your field weakens. But if you give in joy, gratitude, and trust, your field strengthens. The universe reads not the number of coins, but the frequency of the act. This is why some who give only a little still reap great abundance. Their gift was small in measure, but vast in vibration. And others who give much, yet with bitterness, find no return. The law of circulation listens to frequency. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Take a single coin, no matter how small, hold it in your hand, close your eyes, and bless it. Whisper softly, "You are a seed. As you move, you multiply." Imagine it glowing with golden light. Then, with intention, circulate it. Give it as a gift, spend it in joy, or donate it with gratitude. As you release it, do not mourn its leaving. Instead, affirm, "This is circulation. As I give, more returns." Repeat this often, and you will feel the shift. Money will no longer feel like something scarce, but like a river that flows through you. You will trust its rhythm. You will breathe with its pulse. And soon, you will see the truth. You are not a beggar waiting for wealth. You are the current through which wealth circulates. The more freely you allow it to move, the more abundantly it returns. For the law of circulation is eternal. What you release in joy comes back in greater measure. What you cling to in fear withers in your hands. Chapter 8. The Alchemy of Belief. Every reality you have ever known has been filtered through belief. Belief is not just an idea held in the mind. It is the architect of your vibration, the blueprint of your frequency, the silent command that tells the universe what shape to take in your life. Money, like all things, obeys the alchemy of belief. If you believe wealth is scarce, your field vibrates scarcity, and the mirror of reality reflects it back without fail. If you believe wealth is abundant and natural, your frequency hums with abundance, and life bends to match it. The truth is this: money does not come to those who deserve it, nor flee from those who are undeserving. It comes to those who believe it belongs with them. It resists those who believe it must stay far away. Belief is alchemy. It transforms unseen energy into visible form, and the universe, precise and unwavering, answers belief with reflection. Consider the story of two travelers. One was raised to think money was evil. He believed that those who held it were corrupt, greedy, and unkind. Every time he came near wealth, he recoiled, for his belief cast money in the shape of a serpent. And so, though he worked tirelessly, though opportunities brushed his path, he never welcomed them. His frequency repelled what his words claimed to seek. The other traveler held a different belief. She was taught that money was a tool of light, a river that could water the gardens of many, a force that could uplift, heal, and expand. She believed wealth was her ally, her companion, her birthright. And so her frequency sang with trust, openness, and gratitude. Wherever she walked, prosperity followed her like a shadow, for the mirror of life reflected her belief. Both lived under the same sky. Both breathed the same air. Both walked the same earth. But their beliefs crafted two entirely different realities. And here is the truth. The universe does not argue with you. It does not say, "You are wrong." It simply reflects. If you insist money is scarce, it nods and agrees. If you insist money is abundant, it nods and agrees. The mirror has no bias, only perfect fidelity. But belief is not always conscious. You may speak affirmations of wealth, yet secretly carry beliefs of fear. You may chase abundance while secretly believing you are unworthy of it. And the hidden belief always outweighs the spoken word. The mirror reflects the deeper vibration. This is why your work is not to chase money, but to transform belief itself, to take the lead of doubt and transmute it into the gold of certainty. This is true alchemy, not of metals, but of mind. How do you begin? First, become aware. Listen closely to your inner dialogue. When money comes into your life, what is your first thought? joy, fear, suspicion, gratitude? That first reaction reveals the belief beneath. Second, rewrite the script. If your belief says, money is dangerous, gently replace it with, money is a tool that serves me and others. If your belief says, I am not worthy of wealth, replace it with, I am the frequency of wealth. Abundance is natural to me. Repetition reshapes the grooves of the mind until belief itself shifts. Third, embody it. Belief is not just thought, it is feeling. You must not only say the new truth, but feel it resonate in your body. When you declare, I am abundant, breathe it until your chest hums with its vibration. The body must believe as much as the mind. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Find a quiet moment. Take a sheet of paper and write down 3 beliefs you currently hold about money. Be honest. Write them as they come, without judgment. Perhaps they say, money is hard to get, or money leaves quickly, or I am always behind. Then, beside each, write its alchemical opposite. Money is hard to get becomes money flows to me with ease. Money leaves quickly becomes money circulates and returns multiplied. I am always behind becomes I am always supported. Now, close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart. Read the new beliefs aloud, slowly, as if they were ancient scripture. Feel them enter your body. With each word, imagine your field glowing brighter, as though the frequency of wealth itself were engraving these truths into your being. Do this daily until the old belief dissolves and the new belief hums effortlessly in your field. For belief is not something you merely think, it is something you become. And when you become it, the mirror of life must reflect it. This is the alchemy that transforms scarcity into abundance, doubt into certainty, lack into overflow. The choice is always yours. What will you believe? Chapter 9. The Symphony of Alignment. The universe is not chaos, it is music. Every star, every river, every thought, every breath vibrates as a note in the eternal symphony. When you are in harmony, life feels effortless. Doors open, opportunities flow. Wealth arrives as naturally as rain falling into an open hand. When you are out of tune, life feels jagged, strained, full of resistance. Money is part of this symphony. It is not a separate force, detached from the rhythm of existence. It is a note within the great music of life. And when your inner state is aligned, you resonate with the song of abundance, drawing wealth toward you like a melody that completes itself. But here is the paradox. Many people try to play their own song while clashing against the music of the universe. They force, they chase, they struggle, all while their vibration jars against the greater harmony. They may succeed for a moment, but soon the discord consumes them, for alignment cannot be faked. To align is not to strive harder, but to tune yourself. Just as a violinist listens carefully and adjusts the string until it hums with the orchestra, so too must you listen to your inner state and adjust it until it hums with abundance. Consider this story. A young musician once dreamed of joining the Royal Orchestra. She practiced daily, mastering each note. But when she auditioned, her playing felt empty. Though the notes were correct, the music lacked life. The conductor stopped her and asked, "Tell me, what do you feel when you play?" She hesitated. "I feel fear. Fear of mistakes. Fear of rejection." "It is here is laughter all." The conductor smiled gently. "That is what I hear. Not the notes, but the fear. Music is not sound alone, it is vibration. Play again, but this time forget the notes. Feel joy. Feel freedom. Let the song pour from your heart. She lifted her instrument once more. The same notes flowed, but this time the room glowed with resonance. Every ear leaned closer, every heart stirred. She had aligned not with perfection, but with frequency. And so she was chosen. This is your life. The world does not respond to the correctness of your actions alone. It responds to the vibration beneath them. You may work tirelessly, but if your song is one of fear, the symphony mirrors fear. You may work less, but if your song is joy and certainty, the symphony mirrors abundance. Alignment is not about doing more. It is about becoming attuned. How do you align with the symphony of money? First, you must quiet yourself enough to listen. The world is filled with noise, worries, demands, doubts. But beneath it all is a hum, a golden resonance of abundance. You cannot hear it through chaos. You hear it in stillness, in meditation, in the gentle silence between breaths. Second, you must feel into it. Alignment is not an intellectual act, it is an embodied state. You know you are aligned when your chest feels open, when your breath flows freely, when gratitude rises without force. You know you are misaligned when your body tightens, when your breath shortens, when worry consumes you. Third, you must practice daily tuning. Just as no instrument remains in tune forever, no human being remains aligned without care. Life will test you, shake you, distract you. But each day, you can pause, breathe, and retune yourself to the song of abundance. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Find a quiet place. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and imagine yourself in a vast cosmic concert hall. Around you, countless instruments are playing. Stars, rivers, winds, hearts. Each is a note in the eternal symphony. Now, listen for the sound of money. Not as clinking coins or paper bills, but as a golden vibration, a warm hum resonating through the hall. It is steady, constant, eternal. Allow your body to vibrate with it. Imagine your chest glowing, your hands tingling, your entire being humming in harmony with this golden note. As you align, whisper softly, "I am attuned. I am part of the symphony. Money flows through me in perfect harmony." Stay here until you feel peace, until you feel lightness, until your inner song matches the outer symphony. Then rise, carrying that frequency into your day. For when you are aligned, you need not chase money. You only need to remain in tune. The universe itself, vast and precise, will compose the opportunities, the connections, the prosperity that completes your melody. Remember, the song has already begun. The only question is, will you play in harmony or in discord? Chapter 10. The frequency of trust. There is a secret chord in the song of money, and it is called trust. Without it, the melody breaks, the current stutters, and abundance slips through your hands like water you cannot grasp. With it, the river flows effortlessly, carrying you into wealth with no struggle, no strain, no fear. Trust is the highest frequency of receiving. It is the state of surrender that says, "I am already supported. I am already provided for. The universe is faithful, and money flows to me in perfect timing." But most people live not in trust, but in fear. They tighten their fists. They grasp at every coin. They worry with every breath. What if it runs out? What if it never comes back? And so their vibration hums with lack, their field closes, their mirror reflects scarcity. Fear is a blockade in the current, but trust is the bridge. Think of the birds. They do not wake each morning wondering if the sky will still hold them. They trust the air, and so they fly. Think of the earth. It does not worry that the sun will forget to rise. It turns faithfully, and light arrives. In the same way, you must trust that money, as frequency, as energy, as vibration, is always present, always moving, always responding. A story may help illuminate this truth. There was once a fisherman who feared the sea. Every morning, before casting his net, he whispered to himself, "Perhaps today there will be no fish. Perhaps the sea will be empty." His heart tightened, and his net returned empty more often than not. But his daughter, young and fearless, often came with him. She would laugh as she cast her small line into the waves, singing as if the sea were her companion. And though her tools were simple, fish always came to her. One day the father asked, "Why do you not fear the sea's emptiness?" She smiled and answered, "Because the sea is alive. It has always given. It will always give. I trust it." Her trust was the frequency, and the sea responded in kind. So it is with money. If you fear its absence, you tune yourself into absence. If you trust its flow, you tune yourself into abundance. Trust does not mean recklessness, it means alignment. It means knowing the river is real, even when your eyes cannot see the waters yet. But trust is not passive, it is active surrender. It is the willingness to step forward without needing to see every stone in the path. It is the certainty that provision is already moving toward you, even if you cannot yet trace its steps. How do you cultivate this trust? Begin by noticing where fear speaks. Does it whisper that you will never have enough? Does it clench your chest when bills arrive? Does it freeze you when opportunities knock? That is where trust must be planted. Next, replace fear with evidence. Look back on your life. How many times did you survive when you thought you would not? How many times did help arrive at the last moment? How many times were you carried by currents unseen? Let these memories anchor you. If abundance came before, it can come again. If the river flowed once, it still flows now. Finally, embody trust in action. Spend not recklessly, but joyfully. Give not in fear, but in faith. Move forward with decisions as though the universe is conspiring in your favor, because it is. The vibration of trust makes you magnetic, and life cannot resist aligning to it. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Each morning before you rise, close your eyes and whisper aloud, "I trust the current. I trust the flow. I trust that money comes to me in perfect rhythm." Say it 3 times, slowly, until you feel the tension in your chest soften. Then, imagine yourself stepping into a vast golden river. Feel its waters lifting you, carrying you, supporting you. See yourself floating effortlessly, no longer struggling to swim. The current moves you forward. The current brings you to abundance. Whisper again, "I am supported, I am carried, I trust." Do this daily, and your field will change. Fear will dissolve, replaced by a quiet certainty. And soon the mirror of life will begin reflecting it. Opportunities unfolding, prosperity flowing, doors opening with ease. For the frequency of trust is irresistible. It tells the universe, this one is aligned, this one is ready, this one knows the river is eternal. And the universe, faithful as ever, responds, so let abundance be given. Chapter 11. The Inner Treasure. There is a treasure chest within you. Most spend their lives searching outside, digging in the sands of the world, chasing gold across the horizon. never realizing the treasure has always been buried in their own heart. Money, like all reflections, begins within. The frequency you carry is the key to the chest, and once unlocked, the outer world cannot help but mirror it. The error of mankind is simple. We chase shadows instead of light. We think the paper, the coins, the numbers in a bank are wealth. But these are only symbols, shells, reflections. The true wealth is invisible, the state of being that magnetizes abundance. When you discover that inner treasure, you stop chasing and start radiating. You stop begging and begin embodying. There was once a king who grew restless, though his palace overflowed with gold. Each day he stared at his treasures but felt emptiness. His heart whispered that something was missing, so he disguised himself as a beggar and wandered the land, seeking wisdom. In a quiet village, he met an old woman weaving by a fire. She gave him bread without asking his name. He asked her, "Why do you share when you have so little?" She smiled, "Because I am rich." The king frowned. "But you have no coins, no jewels, no palace. How can you be rich?" She placed her hand on her chest. "Because I carry the treasure here. Joy fills me. Gratitude feeds me. Trust crowns me. Money comes and goes, but the treasure within never fades. Because of it, life always provides." The king wept, for he understood. He returned to his palace, but no longer as a slave to his gold. He now knew the truth. True treasure is frequency. When the inner chest is opened, the outer chest will always overflow. You must understand, the world does not give you wealth. You give it to yourself inwardly first. Life simply reflects what you already carry. If your inner chest is empty, no amount of chasing will fill it. If your inner chest is full, the outer world mirrors fullness without end. So, what is in your inner chest? Do you carry beliefs of scarcity, fear, and doubt? Or do you carry certainty, joy, and gratitude? Whatever you store within, the mirror of money reflects without. Here lies your greatest freedom. You can choose what treasure to place inside. Each thought is a coin, each feeling a jewel, each belief a crown. You are the keeper of your inner vault, and what you choose to store becomes the wealth you experience. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Sit in stillness, close your eyes, and imagine yourself walking down a spiral staircase into your heart. At the bottom, you find a great chest of light. Place your hands upon it and whisper, "This is the vault of my frequency. Here lies my true treasure." Now, open the chest in your mind. If you see fear, remove it. If you see doubt, release it. If you see scarcity, lift it out and let it dissolve like mist. Then begin placing treasures inside, a coin of gratitude, a jewel of certainty, a crown of joy. See them glowing, filling the chest with golden radiance until it hums with abundance. Whisper, "My inner vault is full. My treasure is complete. The outer world reflects the wealth within me." Stay with this vision until you feel lightness, until you feel a subtle hum in your body. That is the frequency shifting. That is the treasure coming alive. Do this daily, and soon you will notice the mirror of life responding. Unexpected money, opportunities, gifts, blessings will appear, drawn not by chance but by resonance. For the inner chest always precedes the outer chest. Remember, money is frequency, and frequency begins within. The greatest treasure is already inside you. Unlock it, and the world must reflect it. Chapter 12. The Path of Overflow. There is a state beyond survival, beyond comfort, beyond even abundance. It is the state of overflow, where money flows so freely into your life that you no longer measure it in anxiety, no longer calculate it in fear, but live as though the river can never run dry. Overflow is not about excess for excess's sake. It is about harmony with the infinite supply of the universe, where you no longer ask, "Will there be enough?" but rest in the knowing that there is always more than enough. Most live on the path of scarcity. Their thoughts are bound by ceilings, their choices tethered by limits. Even when money comes, they clutch it, fearing its departure. They live like a man who drinks from a well with trembling hands, afraid the last drop will soon fall. Some rise to the path of abundance. They believe money is available, they experience wealth, they taste freedom. But even here, subtle tension lingers, for abundance still carries the shadow of measurement. How much do I have? Will it last? Is it enough? But overflow is different. Overflow does not measure. Overflow trusts the spring beneath the well, the infinite source feeding the river. Overflow says, "I am not the keeper of supply. I am the channel through which it moves." And because the source is infinite, so too is the flow through me. A story reveals this truth. There was once a village struck by drought. Wells ran dry, crops withered, and fear spread. One man hoarded his jars of water, locking them away, drinking only sips each day. His life became smaller and smaller, confined by his fear of loss. Another man, though he too had little, chose differently. He gave freely, watering the children, feeding the animals, sharing with neighbors. People thought him foolish. But one evening, as he dug the earth to plant seeds, his spade struck a hidden spring. Water burst forth, more than enough for the entire village. The villagers asked, "Why did the spring reveal itself to you?" He smiled and said, "Because I trusted the source. I lived as if there was already overflow, and so overflow came." This is the law of frequency. To live in overflow, you must vibrate as though overflow is already real. You must embody the certainty that the river cannot run dry, because the river's source is infinite. But overflow requires a shift. It requires you to release the survival mentality, the constant measuring, the fear of tomorrow. You must retrain your mind to see beyond numbers and into frequency. For money is not paper, not digits on a screen. It is energy. And energy is infinite. How do you step into overflow? First, expand your self-concept. Most people unconsciously set ceilings. I can have this much, but no more. These ceilings are beliefs, not reality. The universe has no ceilings. The river does not flow to a certain point and then stop. Ceilings exist only in the mind. Break them, and the river flows beyond measure. Second, embody generosity. Overflow cannot be experienced by the one who clutches. You must allow money to move, to circulate, to bless others as well as yourself. Each time you give joyfully, you affirm, there is always more. Each time you share, you declare, the river cannot run dry. He have beldak and basedock. Third, dwell in gratitude as though you already live in overflow. Gratitude expands your vessel. Imagine 2 cups beneath a waterfall, one narrow, one wide. The waterfall is endless, but the amount each holds depends on its openness. Gratitude widens your vessel until overflow is natural. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Find a quiet place. Close your eyes and imagine standing beside a great river of golden light. See it rushing endlessly, shimmering with vitality. Step into it. Feel the currents surround you, lifting you, carrying you. See it flowing not only to you, but through you, into your home, your family, your community, your world. Now, stretch your arms wide and whisper, I am the channel of overflow. I am the vessel of infinite supply. As I receive, I give. As I give, I receive. The river never runs dry. Stay here until you feel the certainty settle into your body. Notice the shift. The tightness loosens. The fear dissolves. The breath deepens. That is the vibration of overflow awakening. When you rise from this practice, live differently. No longer shrink from opportunity. No longer hoard in fear. Move as one who trusts the source, who lives in overflow. Act generously. Decide boldly. Trust deeply, and watch. You will begin to see signs. Money arriving in unexpected ways. Doors opening where none seem to exist. Blessings multiplying as though the universe itself delights in pouring more into your life. For overflow is not fantasy. It is law. When you embody it, you live as a living channel of the infinite. You no longer ask if there will be enough. You know there is always more. Chapter 13. The Golden Key of Imagination. Every creation in your life first lived in your imagination. Every house was once a vision, every invention once a dream, every fortune once an image held in the unseen. Imagination is not a child's plaything, nor a useless fantasy. It is the golden key that unlocks frequency, the bridge between vibration and form. Money itself responds to imagination, because imagination shapes belief, and belief shapes vibration. The wealth you can hold in your inner vision with certainty is the wealth you invite into your outer world. Most people, however, use imagination against themselves. They imagine bills piling, debt rising, disaster approaching. They rehearse fear in vivid color, and so their frequency hums with lack. The universe, faithful as always, reflects back what they imagined. But when imagination is used consciously, it becomes alchemy. To imagine wealth with joy is to begin tuning your field into abundance. To imagine prosperity already yours is to broadcast the signal that summons it. Consider this story. A young sculptor lived in poverty. His hands ached from work, his stomach often empty. Yet each night before sleep, he closed his eyes and imagined a gallery filled with his art. He saw candles glowing on the walls. He saw patrons marveling at his statues. He saw himself signing contracts, receiving payment, living in freedom. At first, nothing changed. Days of hunger stretched on. But he persisted night after night, entering the gallery in his mind as though it were real. Slowly, he noticed a shift. His work grew finer, his confidence deepened, his presence changed. He began speaking differently, walking differently, radiating differently. Soon, a traveler noticed his sculpture and commissioned him. One commission led to another, and within years, the gallery he once imagined became his daily life. The sculptor later said, "I did not create with my hands alone. I created first with imagination. The gallery was real in me long before it appeared around me." This is the golden key. Imagination is frequency rehearsal. It allows you to tune your vibration into abundance before your eyes can see it. The universe does not wait for outer proof. It responds to inner vision. But imagination must be embodied. It is not enough to casually daydream. You must feel it, taste it, inhabit it as though it were now. The stronger you dwell in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the more precise your frequency becomes. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Each night before sleep, close your eyes and imagine your life as though you are already living in abundance. Do not watch it like a movie from afar. Step inside it. See through your own eyes. What home do you wake up in? What sounds fill the room? What clothes rest upon your body? What words do you speak? What does wealth feel like in your chest, in your breath, in your step? Let the scene be simple but vivid. It may be as small as paying bills with ease, or as grand as building empires. What matters is not size, but feeling. Let gratitude rise as though it were real in this very moment. Whisper softly, "This is my reality. My imagination is truth. My frequency is wealth." Do this consistently, and your frequency will shift. You will notice your decisions changing, your posture shifting, your field glowing differently. Life will begin to rearrange itself to match the image you rehearsed, for imagination is not fantasy. It is creation's first stage. Remember, money is frequency, and imagination is how you tune yourself. Those who imagine scarcity live scarcity. Those who imagine abundance live abundance. The choice is always yours. Chapter 14. The Rhythm of Gratitude. Gratitude is more than manners, more than polite words whispered at the table. Gratitude is frequency. It is the rhythm that aligns you with the pulse of abundance, the vibration that multiplies what you already have and summons what you desire. When you give thanks, you are not just expressing courtesy, you are tuning yourself. Gratitude declares, "I already live in wealth. I already stand in provision. I am already connected to the infinite source." And the universe, hearing this signal, responds in kind. This is why those who live in gratitude often seem mysteriously blessed. They may not always have more than others, but what they do have expands. Doors open for them, fortunes find them. Their frequency sings the rhythm of overflow, and the mirror of reality reflects it. But those who live in complaint repel abundance. Complaint is the frequency of lack. To complain is to declare to the universe, "I do not have enough. I am not provided for. Life is unfair." And the law, impartial and exact, mirrors that vibration. The more they complain, the more lack multiplies. Gratitude, then, is the alchemy of transformation. It turns little into much, fear into trust, scarcity into abundance. It is not that gratitude itself creates wealth, but that it aligns your field with the frequency of wealth already present. Consider this story. In a small village, two farmers lived side by side. One farmer woke each morning with complaint. "The soil is too dry, the sun is too harsh, my tools are too old." His field mirrored his spirit: thin crops, sickly plants, little harvest. The other farmer woke each morning with gratitude. "The soil has given me seed, the sun has given me warmth, my hands still have strength to work." His field mirrored his spirit. His crops thrived, his plants were lush, his harvest overflowed. The villagers marveled, for both farms shared the same weather, the same soil, the same conditions. Yet one yielded scarcity, the other abundance. The difference was not in the earth, but in the frequency. So it is with money. The conditions of the world are secondary. The true harvest comes from the soil of your frequency, watered by gratitude. But here is the power. Gratitude does not wait for abundance to arrive. It creates the conditions for abundance to appear. You do not say, "I will be grateful when I have wealth." You say, "I am grateful now, and wealth cannot help but come." Gratitude is both the seed and the harvest. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Each evening, before you sleep, write down 3 things you are grateful for in your financial life, no matter how small. It may be a single coin, a meal paid for, a bill covered, or the simple fact that you are alive to receive again tomorrow. As you write, feel gratitude not as duty, but as frequency. Let your chest warm, your breath soften, your field glow. Whisper softly, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Abundance is already here. Then add one more step. Give thanks in advance for what you desire. Write, "Thank you for the opportunities that are already coming. Thank you for the wealth that is already on its way. Thank you for the freedom already unfolding." By doing this, you are not lying to yourself. You are tuning yourself. You are stepping into the frequency where abundance already exists, and the universe mirrors it. Practice this daily, and watch as your outer life begins to shift. Small blessings will multiply. Unexpected money will arrive. New doors will open. For gratitude is the rhythm of the infinite, and when you dance with it, money flows in harmony with you. Remember this: wealth is not measured only in coins, but in the frequency of your being. And gratitude is the song that expands that wealth beyond measure. Chapter 15. The Infinite Supply. The world tells you that money is limited, that there is not enough to go around, that resources are scarce, that wealth is the privilege of a few. But the universe whispers another truth: supply is infinite. The river never stops flowing. The frequency of money is endless, because it is born from energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. When you believe in limitation, you cut yourself off from the river. You dip a cup into the ocean and insist it is all that exists. But when you open to infinite supply, you see that no matter how much is drawn, the ocean remains vast, eternal, inexhaustible. Money is energy. Energy is frequency. Frequency is infinite. This is the equation of abundance. Scarcity is an illusion. It is not a law of nature, but a program of fear. The tree does not say, "I cannot grow more fruit, for there are too many hungry mouths." The tree simply grows. The sun does not say, "I cannot shine today, for I shone too brightly yesterday." The sun simply shines. The river does not say, "I cannot flow, for too many have already drunk." The river simply flows. So it is with money. It flows where the frequency allows. It multiplies where belief expands. It stagnates where fear blocks it. A story makes this clear. In a coastal city, there lived a teacher who gathered students by the shore. One day, a student asked, "Master, why do some have so much while others have nothing? Is there not only so much wealth in the world?" The teacher pointed to the sea. "How much water is there?" The student replied, "More than I can count." "That isn't not, and if one man takes a jar, does it lessen the sea?" "No," the student admitted. The teacher smiled. So it is with wealth. The ocean is infinite, yet each man takes according to the size of his vessel. Some come with thimbles, some with cups, some with barrels. But the sea does not discriminate. It overflows for all. The student wept, for he realized his life had been lived with a thimble, though the ocean had always been before him. The truth is this: the universe is not scarce, it is overflowing. It is we who shrink, who limit, who tighten our vessels with fear. But when you expand your frequency, when you embody gratitude, trust, generosity, and certainty, you widen your vessel and the ocean pours into it. How do you embody infinite supply? First, release comparison. Scarcity lives in comparison, the thought that another's gain is your loss. But in infinite supply, one's gain expands the flow for all. Rejoice in another's wealth, for it proves the river flows. Celebrate abundance wherever you see it, for it reflects your own. Second, expand your vision. Stop asking only for survival, for just enough. Begin to affirm, I live in overflow. I drink from the ocean. I am open to infinite supply. The universe answers not small requests, but frequencies of certainty. Third, practice circulation. The more you allow wealth to flow through you, the more evidence you create that supply is infinite. When you give, when you share, when you invest, you declare, I trust there is always more. Here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Find a quiet space. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing on the shore of an endless golden ocean. Waves shimmer with light, rising and falling in eternal rhythm. Step forward until the waves wash over your feet. Feel the current pulling at you, inviting you deeper. Now, imagine holding a vessel in your hands. Look at its size. Is it small? Is it limited? Whisper, I expand my vessel. I open to more. See it grow larger, wider, stronger, until it becomes vast enough to hold the overflow of the golden ocean. Then whisper, the supply is infinite. The ocean is endless. I receive without fear, and I give without fear, for there is always more. Stay in this vision until you feel the certainty settle into your chest. Carry it into your day. Act not as one who fears the last coin, but as one who knows the ocean flows forever. For this is the truth. Money is not limited. Wealth is not scarce. The supply is infinite, because frequency is infinite. And once you embody this law, the world must mirror it. Conclusion. The eternal song. You have walked through the hidden rivers, the unseen mirrors, the golden keys, and the eternal fields. You have heard the truth whispered again and again in many forms. Money is not matter, not paper, not numbers glowing on a screen. Money is frequency. It flows where your vibration allows. It multiplies where your field is open. It mirrors the song you sing within. The universe has never withheld from you. The river has never stopped flowing. The ocean of supply has never run dry. It was only your own frequency, your fear, your doubt, your complaint, that closed the door. But you have now remembered. You have seen the truth behind the veil. Wealth is not something you chase. It is something you tune into. It is not something you beg for. It is something you embody. Gratitude is the rhythm. Trust is the bridge. Belief is the alchemy. Imagination is the golden key. Circulation is the law. And you are the instrument, the vessel, the channel through which the infinite sings. When you embody abundance, the world cannot help but mirror it. When you open to overflow, life cannot help but pour more. When you align with frequency, money arrives not as a stranger, but as a faithful companion, a natural reflection of the song you already carry. So, breathe deeply now. Feel your chest expand. Whisper softly, I am the frequency of wealth. I am the vibration of abundance. I am the channel of infinite supply. Let these words settle not as mere affirmations, but as truth. Let them hum in your field. Let them echo in your mind. Let them carry into your days ahead. You do not need to struggle anymore. You do not need to chase anymore. You need only to tune yourself to the eternal song already playing within you. For once you align, wealth comes, opportunities come, overflow comes. This is the eternal song of the universe. As within, so without. As above, so below. As you vibrate, so shall you receive. The frequency is already here. The current is already flowing. The treasure is already within you. Now it is time to live it. If this journey spoke to your soul, I invite you to let the circle of light grow stronger. Like this video if it resonated with you. Leave a comment and share the frequency you are now choosing to carry. And subscribe for more sacred teachings so we may continue walking this path together. You are the frequency of wealth. You are the living song of abundance. And from this moment forward, the universe must obey the vibration you hold.